Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. Just wanted to give you some more sad news. Broke this, about noon today, and the word out of Michigan Athletics, Kobe Bufkin is leaving Michigan, declaring for the NBA draft, and honestly, this is not surprising at all. Of the three players now that have declared for the NBA draft, he, to me, was the one who seemed to be the most likely to succeed in the NBA, at least at its current state. Obviously, the growth you saw from Kobe from year 1 to year 2 was substantial. He came in as a guy just averaging a few points a game to being a leader on this team. And, when he seemed to play well, the team just thrived. And his confidence kept growing, and you could see him becoming the leader of this basketball team. So, to start off with, I want to thank Kobe. I'm sure he'll watch this video. But I want to thank him so much for representing Michigan so well, and it's cool. He's from close by me. I live near Grand Rapids, and he played at Grand Rapids, Michigan. So that's really cool that he played from around here. And went to Michigan and now going to the NBA. So cool. I mean, again, his defense was very good. His shooting was very good. His attacking is very good. His free throws. I mean, he plays basketball at a very high level. So. Not surprised he's going pro, especially after Jet left and Hunter's transferring. So, it is what it is. So, thanks to Kobe, but now let's think about Michigan going forward. You lose your top 3 players. You're hoping maybe Joey Baker gets a 6-year red shirt. Does he want to stay at Michigan now? If he gets a 6-year, would he rather go transfer and maybe have a chance at winning? Because it's not going to be much of any chance at Michigan. Just saying. Go be a sniper off a bench for a team that has a chance at winning. Other tweet I saw yesterday was Llewellyn. He's going for a medical red shirt for this past year where he blew out his, I think it was ACL. But, he's going to be trying to get that. Does he want to come back? So, just look at what we have now. Just ignoring Llewellyn and Baker. You have Doug McDaniel. I think he's your starting point guard. You got Terrace Reed at your probably 5, right? So you have your 1 and your 5 figured out. Now, does any transfer want to come into Michigan? I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's I could see that Alabama guy who verbaled that he was going to come to Michigan. Maybe he'll be back out. Again, you can flip it 2 ways, right? You might not at this moment think, well, Michigan doesn't have much chance to win. However, the flip side of that is the roster is really not very strong, so I can come in and just get minutes and get points and get myself on TV. Because it's still Michigan. Michigan's still a brand. Not great brand right now, but they're still a brand. They'll be on TV. So there's 2 sides of that way. I don't know which way you would think. It depends. Do you want to win or do you want to play and get points? I guess if you think about the Alabama guy, since he was kind of a bench guy, Alabama, maybe that's why he wants to come to Michigan. Of course, he was recruited by Howard out of Chicago, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe, okay, I'll come to Michigan and I'll have starter. He's probably going to be a starter now. So you have, if he comes, you have Doug, that transfer, and Terrace Reed. You get, in theory, there's also rumors swirling that Papa Conte isn't going to be able to get in with his grades, so great. Then you have, I think, George Washington III, I think it is. He's coming. So, a lot of flux. There's a lot of holes to fill, right? So now you've lost 3 scholarship players. You've added 1, and you got 2 guys coming in. So, I don't know exactly how scholarships all work, especially with the NIL stuff, where you might just be able to pay them some money and, have them be a walk-on. But, it's I hear them talk about that more in football than basketball, so I don't know for sure. Lots of questions, again, and some of you guys have brought it up when we were chatting back and forth. You guys write me on my Hunter Dickinson video. What's it say about Coach Howard? It's not good, man. I mean, I know there's one thing about, go to the NBA, go, you're ready. And don't get me wrong, I think Kobe is ready to go to the NBA, but it's you had Caleb Houston and Moussa Diabate, who both went pro, and they probably really would have benefited from a second year in college. Again, you have the whole NIL stuff and players, they were foreign-born players and they might not have been able to get the NIL money. But, you know, those guys are one and dones. And now you have, again, another player. We had Caleb Houston who developed and got better through the year, at least defensively. And you would have loved to seen him have that sophomore jump, just like you saw Kobe, right? He developed and he had a really good year. It's like, oh man, his junior year would have been great, but he leaves. So it's kind of, well, why is it? Why do the players not want to leave? Is it Coach Howard? They don't like Howard? Maybe true. 2, is it like this modern basketball, man? If you can go get paid, go get paid. 3, you know, Hunter leaving. It's like he doesn't want to stick around and be on a rebuild team. He wants to go have his last year, his senior year, go out and have a chance to win, right? So all these things, all these questions, and no answers. So the question really becomes now, Michigan, you got holes to fill. How are you going to fill them? Does Michigan go back to the recruiting board and try to find some players in the 50 to 100 range, if they even have open scholarships? I really think you need to just, in modern basketball, you need to obviously have a good culture. Good culture is super important, but get those recruits that are not going to be your one and dones. And even maybe 2 and dones, right, like Kobe was. But you want to get your Doug McDaniels, your Terrace Reeds, those guys who are going to be like your college players that are good, but they're not good enough to go pro. That's a thin edge there, right? You want to be good. We want really good players here, but we don't want them to go pro. I got to say, one guy just like this epitome of this would be like former Michigan point guards, like Xavier Simpson, right? I know he's a pro, I think, down in like Australia, I think I saw, or something. But they're kind of pro-ish, but they're not NBA pro level, right? Cassius Winston from Michigan State definitely just speaks to me about that. He just was excellent at college and not quite NBA material. That's what Michigan needs. Players that are excellent in college, but not quite good enough for the NBA. You know, Howard, go find those people. Really good players for college, not quite NBA ready. Easier said than done, right? That's kind of like the whole Jay Wright at Villanova, I think, mold and method of that, but it's what it is. Hey, just my thoughts. Kobe Bufkin leaving Michigan, and Michigan's in a total rebuild mode now. Are they going to rebuild via the portal? Are they going to rebuild via recruits? We'll see. Anyone else leaving? The door is wide open now. That's 4 players leaving Michigan. Anyone else going to go? What do you guys think? If you have any comments, put them in the box below. I'll try to respond as I'm able to. Thanks again for watching, and as always, go blue.